Welcome back to the 6 o'clock show. Time now to head over live to the Virgin Media Sports Studio, where Katja has found the housewife's favourite, everyone's favourite, Tommy Martin, and former Irish footballer Damien Delaney. Darling, over to you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Brian. Thank you so much. Now, Tommy, Damien, thank you so much for joining me on the 6 o'clock show. It's a really exciting time and a great time for Virgin Media Sport and the League of Ireland. Fill us in, Tommy.
I'm just getting over you're sitting in my seat here. This is just too weird. How do you do it? This is
We're
bizarre.
on the flip side now.
This is bizarre. I'm not used to this. OK, so bear with me. This is very, very strange. So, yeah, it's a massive week. So, obviously, we're sitting here in our usual spot for the Champions League tonight. And I know we'll get to that in a minute. But this week, the announcement of Virgin Media becoming the exclusive broadcaster of the League of Ireland for the first time ever. And more importantly, it's the first time ever that a broadcaster will guarantee a live match every week of the season. So basically, fans will sit down the first week of the season, a couple of weeks' time, and know every Friday night or every time there's a run of matches on that we will have a match for them, so they can follow all the stories throughout the season, all the drama. And if it's anything like last season, it's going to be amazing. So we're just hoping for something even half as good in terms of all the excitement and drama, with Shells winning the league on the last minutes of the last night. So, yeah, delighted to be involved. You
mentioned a lot of firsts there. Just how big of a deal is this moment?
Well, it is that sort of historic thing, like that sort of, like the League of Ireland has exploded really in popularity. I always say to Brian Kerr, God, the league's been great in the last few years, and he always says, it's always been great. Yeah. It's just everybody's paying attention now. Something happened, maybe it was around COVID, that people started looking around to sort of valuing things that were local to them a bit more, and real sort of experiences a bit more than sort of things that were distant, like the Champions League and the Premier League, etc. Yeah. And people started going a lot more to the matches, and crowds were up. TV viewership was up, and the football, just been lots of, great personalities like Damien Duff, obviously, in with Shelburne, and you got Stephen Kenny now managing Pats, and loads of great storylines there. So that sort of explosion has happened, and then alongside it now we have like broadcasting deal that is the biggest that the league has ever had, and like I said, has that sort of. Every week there's going to be live matches, and we're going to be showing the goals from the other matches as well. So even if your team's not playing, you'll get to see the goals from your team's games as they go in.
Fantastic. Now, you mentioned broadcasting, so I have to ask you to tell us about the first 5 matches that we will be airing.
I have them written down on a piece of paper because I have to have it all down there, and my memory is a sieve. So, Katja, it is the perfect Valentine's night treat.
Nice. The dream
for
Valentine's Day.
Because the first match is Shelburne against Derry. Shelburne, the champions, against Derry on Valentine's night, the 14th of Feb. And then 2 days later, it's a massive occasion for the League of Ireland because Bohemians and Rovers, the big Dublin derby, is being played in the Aviva Stadium. Another historic first League of Ireland game to happen in the National Stadium. That's on the Sunday the 16th. And then the following week, on the following Friday, it's Galway against St. Pat's. On the 28th, then, it's the top 2 from last season, Shelburne against Shamrock Rovers. And then on 3rd of March, Munster Derby, which is a lovely way to bring Damien in. Yeah. Waterford against Damien's beloved Cork City. So,
well, like you said, a lot of fellas will be happy this Valentine's Day. Now, Damien,
going to cause a few rounds, let's face it.
100%. I'll bring you in here, Damien, because you, of course, began your career playing with Cork City. What has the reaction been like with League of Nations players?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. It's a super deal that there's going to be 4 years as well of regularity. And I always think that, when we look at fixtures of football on the weekend, we organise our schedule around what games are going to be on, and we'll do X, Y and Z. There's going to be the regularity and the consistency of a game every Friday night, so people know it's going to be on and they can organise their week around it. Whereas before, when it was sporadic and sometimes people mightn't have found out it was on and they wouldn't stay in to watch a game. As Tommy said, there's been an explosion in the league. The attendances are going up year on year, the quality is going up, the standard is going up, and Virgin getting involved, showing as many games as what they are, can only be a good thing.
It is such an exciting time for League of Ireland. What do you think this means for the visibility of the game in general? Because like Tommy said, there'll be a game on, you can also see the other scores while your favourite team are playing. So what's that going to mean for the visibility of the game in general?
Well, it's going to grow the game, and it's going to make it more appealing to youngsters, because that's what we want to do, and increase your player pool. And you got kids now that are going to get the regularity of a game every Friday night. They're going to sit at home after a week of school, watch the games, and it's going to want them to get involved and perhaps go and take up the game or try and get involved with their local League of Ireland team, wherever that may be. So visibility is huge. Look, we all know the League of Ireland needs investment, needs money to grow and to become what we all think it can be. And obviously with the game and the regularity of games, sponsorship will become a big thing now because people are going to get eyes on it, and all of a sudden a little bit more money can start coming into the game from the sponsor side of it, and clubs can sell advertising that way as well. So I think the league deserves it. You know, it's been downtrodden. People have maybe turned away from it in the past, but it seems to be coming into its own now. And it's a fabulous league, and it's local, and everybody has a team. Yeah.
Now, take us back to, obviously, when you were playing. How was it for your family and friends when they wanted to watch you on TV? Could they catch a lot of your games? Yeah, a lot of games would have been on television at some point, you know. Obviously, people come over and visit, you know, when I was living in the UK. But for your family and friends that might not be able to get to a game, they can catch a highlight show and see if you had a good or a bad game or whatever.
Couldn't sort them out for tickets, you see, so they'll have to actually watch it on TV.
That's pretty much it, yeah. So listen,
turn his phone off.
Yeah, so it's great. You know, as I said, the more eyeballs that are on this league, more eyeballs and people that are watching it, the better for us.
Now, Tommy, that's not all for Virgin Media Sport. You have a very exciting night of Champions League action ahead of you. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, in about 30 minutes' time, we're going to be on air in the studio building up to a mad night of Champions League. So it's this new format. And when they announced it, it was flagged that the last night of what used to be called the group stage is now called the league phase. There would be 18 matches kicking off at the exact same time. So we all kind of went, OK, what's that going to look like? Because there's going to be goals flying in everywhere and all sorts. So basically, we're just going to, we'll have the PSV against Liverpool game on, but we're going to be running in goals from all around Europe as everything has been decided. So who gets into the knockout stages, who gets eliminated. There's basically all but 2 matches of those 18 have something riding on them. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to be mental. Damien has been studying up all the stats over the last week. I've got lots of bits of paper in front of me, things we hear saying, there's a goal, no, it's no, VAR, no, sorry, completely. And it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, action-packed, like you said. Damien, what are your thoughts on the new format? Is it a good move?
Yeah, I think it's been a success. I think there was a little bit mundane, you know, the way the seedings of the previous regime was, you know, where it was 1 game home, 1 game away, and invariably the seeded teams came through, and it all kind of panned out the way it did. So there's an unpredictability to this, you know. Obviously, the way the draw is, you get much more bigger teams playing against each other more regularly. Last week, me and Tommy covered a PSG Man City game, which is normally a game you might not see until, you know, the springtime in the knockout phases. So you're getting that pre-Christmas. So I think it has rejuvenated it. Tonight is going to be fantastic because goal difference is going to come into play. You're going to have a live table. You know, people will have a table up and you'll see people moving. Will they get into it automatically? Will they be in the playoffs, or will they miss out altogether? And there's a couple of big names in danger of missing out altogether. So promise to be an exciting night, and we're going to do our best to make it work, Tom.
Well, while I have the 2 experts here, I got to ask, guys, predictions. Obviously, Liverpool is sitting at #1 spot. What are your predictions? Who's going to win?
He's the expert. So.
Yeah, listen, Liverpool are in great form. It's fantastic, but it's very hard to ignore that pristine white jersey of Real Madrid coming over the horizon, because they've had a tricky enough start to the season, but they always come good at the right time, and it does seem like they're finding their form. But if Liverpool and Real Madrid avoid each other in knockout stages, I think that would be the final that we all want to see. That would be an epic final. Too tough to call, though, which team would be the winner, but I would be surprised if it was anyone else other than one of those 2. OK,
so I'm putting my money on Real Madrid. OK, we'll say that. We'll say that. We'll say that, guys. Oh, we could talk about sport all day. Thank you so much, Tommy and Damien. We've got to go. Tonight's Champions League drama unfolds tonight, straight after us at 7 p.m. on Virgin Media 2. Brian, it's back to you in the studio.
Darling, job well done. And Tommy's chair really suits